Hello, everyone. Welcome to Tangle Time Arts. My name is Nana Heron, and I'm a certified Zentangle teacher. And I'm happy to be back. I'm still a little under the weather, but I'm back with days 20 and 21 of Inktober Tangles. So for day 20, we have Kangular by Tomàs Padrós, CZT. And I'm going to pronounce this Butria. Um, uh, I'm assuming some of the the name comes from the little butterfly that it forms, and that's by Ute Andresen, CZT. So we're going to try to combine those two tangles into one project today. All right. Oh, and if you don't already have your packet, you can still download that for free. Big shout out to Stephanie Jennifer for putting that all together. All right. So just be using our basic tools, our white tile, a black pen, number 2 pencil, and a tortillon. And I do have some colored pencils, just in case I decide to add some color at the end. Sometimes it's a surprise for me too, whether I add color or not. So we'll see. All right. So we are going to start with our pencil. And we are going to put in a dot in each corner. So starting out quite traditionally. And I'm not leaving a lot of space here because our Kangular, we're going to do a ribbon, is going to take up quite a lot of space. So we also want to put another square within here to form a frame. And that's about 1/2 inch right there. I'm not measuring, but I'm just guesstimating that it's probably like 1/2 inch. All right, once we have that in, we are going to start with our corners. And for our corners, right off from the point, we're going to draw a line down towards the other point, not, but again, off from the point. And then we're going to aura that on the other side of our dots. And we're going to do that for each corner. So not quite on the dots, but if you are, if one of them's on there, that's okay too. And then we're going to kind of work our way out and around. So this is a little different when we form our corners because we're starting in the corners to get them to work out right. So I'm just going to form the triangle there and then the triangle there. So we're doing our triangles in our corners first. But we only have ink on the 2 sides. I just wanted to point that out. Then we're back where we started, and then we're going to form more angles, but we're going to aura this and then come down. So we've got that angle, and then we're going to come over here and aura this one and come down. And then we're going to aura both. I'm going to rotate and do the exact same thing. I'm going to aura this line and come down, so those V shapes. Then I'm going to aura this line, put in a V shape, and then I'm doing an aura of both those. It does take some practice to get it to come out as evenly as possible. Alright. So we have something that looks like that. And then we're kind of going to, to me, it's almost like a woven effect, of putting a ribbon in a ribbon almost. So we're gonna form more V's, kind of starting down, not quite halfway, but maybe a third of the way, then coming back down again a third of the way. Lift up your pen, travel over to the other side, and then we're making a tiny V here. Lift up your pen, go over, and then the larger one. So what we have is a large V, a medium one, and a small one. That's kind of how I think of it. I'm going to rotate here. And again, we're lifting our pen up and stepping over, and we've got our V. And then the small one. So just alternating, really. It's only a little different in the corners where it's a little bit more straight. And then for this last one, you want to make sure to kind of aim for this over here. So it's got that continuity. And we're back where we started. And then it's just a matter of doing like an aura of that, but it's kind of the reverse where we have the small V and then the larger one. It's kind of the flip of what we did. So you have this effect of a ribbon here within our ribbon. Rotate. And you can also see that we're doing an aura of what we previously did. So our little V here is an aura of this larger one, and our larger V here is an aura of the smaller one. Once you get the hang of it, it goes a little faster. And again, this last one, you kind of want to aim so that it almost looks like there's continuity there. All right. So once we have that, then we need to finish by um, inking these in so that we do have that triangle shape. So it's literally that part along the pencil line, your guideline, your string there. So I'm just going to do this top row first, like that. And then I am actually going to ink these in with the black. It's going to take a little bit of time, but I'm going to go ahead and do that. You wouldn't have to use black. You could use a different color if you'd like. Or you can leave it white and then ink in the ribbon within the ribbon. And I'm also going to ink in this area. All right, so I'm going to do that for each one of these. I'm going to do all the ones on the top. I call it the top row first. And then ink them in. So we are going to get a lot of drama here. We will be doing shading too. All right, rotate. Keep working my way around. Really focusing on these triangle shapes here. Oh, and I forgot to ink this one in. But no worries, you can always go back and ink it in. This is our fourth side. Right. And then I'm also going to do the ones on the inside. So you can still slightly maybe see the pencil line on the inside as well. And we're just going to follow along that to close off our triangle there. And then ink those in. So definitely a lot of drama. And there are a lot of things you could do with using different color. So lots of options for you. But I'm just keeping it very basic. Rotate and get the second side. And just keep going. So sometimes you can make the triangle look a little better at this point if you need to um, ink in to either make it wider or pointier or something like that. So make sure you have a nice new pen when you do this one because you need a lot of ink. And then finishing off our last side like this. Now that I'm kind of thinking of it, these kind of remind me of candy corn. So if you're in a Halloween mood, you could probably use some orange and yellow and get a really cool candy corn effect. All right. So we made it all the way around. So it's something like this, which has lots of drama. But we are going to add some shading. But before we get to shading, we need to finish up our ribbon border. I am actually going to run, now you have several options here. You could run another line along the inside here. But I'm going to do this. I am going to go with straight lines here, and then also on the flip side. I'm going to rotate this and also do straight lines. And also on the other side. Like that, so that we know where to shade. So it's got this really cool woven type of look to it. I am going to go ahead and put an aura around both the inside and the outside, leaving just very thin space. So just a very thin um, space there. But I think it looks really, really nice so that we can put something in the center. And then I'm going to go and do that along the outside as well. Again, I like to have consistency. All right, so we have something like that. So we have a really cool frame there. Um, yeah, it looks really cool. So I am going to Move on to day 21, which is our butterfly, the Butria. But this is Kangular, and we will shade. And now for the butterfly. So you have your option here of putting in one, or you could divide it up and put in like four of them. And I'm trying to decide what I want to do. We could go with one and have it like you know how sometimes in science exhibits they have like a specimen of a butterfly. So let's go with that. I've got my pencil and I'm going to put in, where's our center point here? Very lightly a V shape like that. And then I'm going to just go ahead and take my pen and I'm going to put a dot kind of, I'm a little above the halfway point, but I would say like the halfway point is where you want to be. Um, but this will work out fine. I've got a line through there. I've got my mark here. So then we are going to do a curved line out to the tip there and another one on the other side. And then we're going to do curves down to the bottom, leaving a very thin area there. And then kind of about like, I'm just going to mark it so you can see where we're aiming for. We're putting in another curve kind of towards the halfway point there. Doesn't have to be exact. And again, going towards the bottom. And this is where I'm going to kind of deviate from the step out because I kind of want a fuller little butterfly, a little butria there. And I'm going to curve out. So that's kind of me just doing a variation. And I'm actually going to add some antenna here, like that. And then I'm going to kind of add a little bit of rounding on the inside and ink this in on the tips of the wings. That and also on the other side. And while I am doing all of the ink work in black, you could, for your butterfly, you could use a different color ink if you'd like. And I would definitely invite you to experiment with that. And then for your, I'm just going to call it a butterfly body. You could totally ink it in solid, but I'm just going to put really small little lines here. You could put some tipple in there if you want. That would look cool too. Like that. All right. I am going to put the cap on my pen and I'm going to do some shading now. I am going to start, excuse me. I hope I don't lose my voice. So I am going to just keep going and hope for the best here. I'm going to do some shading, but only in certain ones. So this angle here, I am doing all of those. Coming over here, still that same angle. All right. I'm going to add a little bit of shading in the body here. And then I'm going to add shading along this here. And rotate around. Also around my little Butria. I'm pronouncing it Butria. There might be a different pronunciation for it, so, but I like the way Butria sounds. All right. And then I'm also going to add a little shading around the outside. Like that. And I'm going to take my tortillon. Ooh, my pencil wants to roll away. And I am going to go in with the blending. Love blending. Now I'm going to do this before adding any color. A little bit in there. All right, so got that shaded in and blended. And then I'm going to shade these. That, and then the outside. Like that. Now, if you're not adding color, you can add a little bit of shading here, just a little bit, and I'm going to go ahead and do that. Like that. So for those of you who are just keeping it with the black and white, I would just add a little shading there like that. And then I think I'm going to go in with the ink pen and you know how butterflies can have little patterns on their wings. I'm just going to add like an oval here and ink that in. Go over it a second time. And then the same on the other side. That, which I think is really, really cute. And then I am going to take my colored pencils, and you can pick any colors that you want, but I've got the, I've got blue, violet, and the sky blue. So let's go with a little bit of the blue. Very light with the blue on the top and getting darker as we go down. So keeping that the same over here. Light. And then I want my violet here coming in a little bit over that. I'm going to go in darker here with the violet. And very light over this area. Now I'm going to come in with my sky blue, pretty heavy over this top area. Like that, and then adding some to the areas below it. Just kind of that little circular motion, that scumbling motion there. And then lighter as we go down, because I want to see the difference in the colors. So if you want to lighten something up, you could grab your white and kind of go over that to blend it out. I'm happy with these colors. I'm trying to decide if I want to take some black and go in there, but I'm going to leave it for now. I don't want to overwork it. So I am actually going to put my initials in here. Just trying to think where I would like to put them. And I am going to put them right down in here. Like that. I think that looks so cute. Um, I like that we have this organic Butria butterfly here in the center, and then we have all the angles from the Kangular. We've got angles, triangles, corners, all that in there. And then there's that ribbon running through our ribbon border. All right, super cute, really fun. And like I said, you could turn this into a more Halloween type of project if you make these kind of candy corn colors. All right. So we've got our Inktober Tangles, days 20 and 21. I'll put my name on here. It is already for me the 22nd, so I'm a little behind, but catching up. We had Kangular by Tomàs Padrós, CZT, and Butria by Ute Andresen, CZT. So days 20 and 21 with our combination of two tangles. So yeah, I like it. It's really cute. Actually, I love it. I hope you enjoy it too. Experiment with your what you want to do in that ribbon in there. There's lots of possibilities. And also experiment with what you put in this area because you could divide it up into four and have four little Butria butterflies in there. Change it up with color. Um, yeah, so many possibilities, so much fun. All right, thank you for tangling along with me, and thank you for understanding. I'm catching up a little bit, but having fun while I do it. So I'll see you soon for our next one, which I believe, let me just double check here. We have, oh yes, Shattuck by Zentangle. Always a fun to look at a fun day to look at some of the classics. All right, take care. I'll see you soon, and I love you all. Bye.